Welcome back to Unless You Live Hardcore. I'm Kyle Forsyth here with the co-host Jake Ford. What's up, dude?
What up? How you doing? How's it
I went
going, Kyle?
good. I went full high energy on this one.
Yeah, no, it was a good one, dude.
Last week I went high up top and then dipped it low quickly.
I
So I was like,
think
I'm gonna keep high all the way.
I think you just have commitment issues.
Maybe, man.
Not in most things, just with that.
Yeah.
I think you're just lacking you need
I think
to
I get in my own head too much with it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't
fucking
want to sound like other podcast intros.
most podcasts don't even do an intro now. But yeah, just I just fucking send it, dude. It's
Yeah, well, I
fine. You
did.
got it. You
I
sent
already
yeah,
did.
that was a great one. 5 stars.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we started recording, we were just talking about right before we started recording. Back in the day, you were playing a show with your band Sycamore, and
Yeah.
do you want to tell the story? I'll let you tell it. You go.
Um, yeah, hang on, I'm getting like a weird message request. Oh, never mind. It's just fucking spam. I hate that shit, dude. Sometimes I think it's gonna be like a career opportunity, and then it's just like, you want to buy, like, you want to buy some shit that you don't need, and I'm like, no. Um, yeah. I
You guys were
remember
playing a show.
we
Sycamore
were playing like
was.
a festival. Actually, it was like a big festival in Toledo, Ohio. It was the Jamboree. Bunch of dope bands were on it. We were on like one of the side stages. And yeah, sorry, I'm kind of sick still if I sound a little nasally and stuffy this week, guys. But yeah, so we were playing, and then after we got off stage, like 30 minutes after, we're like chilling in our van, and our vocalist Jeremy just like is scrolling through Twitter, and he's like, "Dude, I think Kyle Pavone from We Came as Romans is talking shit about our set." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, like this guy, he tweeted that he's like, just watch this local band on the side stage, and it's so obvious that the vocalist is just trying to sound like Johnny Craig, and it's like trying way too hard to be soulful, and which is a funny critique because it's like Jeremy is a black guy. It's like he can't try too hard to sound soul. That's just how he sounds, dude. So yeah, and then Jeremy actually fired back at him.
Damn, dude. Yeah, which is like wild because this is probably back in the day when We Came as Romans sounded like this, dude. I have their old
Well,
demos.
I should say this real quick. Hey, I should say this.
Okay.
No ill will towards anybody that knew the guy. He did like pass away. I'll just say it was like a kind of a shitty thing to deal with as like a 16-year-old who like liked that band and was like getting to play a big festival to then see like, oh man, one of the big bands is talking shit about us. We suck, dude. Like, wasn't a great
Yeah.
feeling. But yeah, continue.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, and it's like I'm thinking this is I mean, maybe this is after this era. Maybe they had released other shit by then, but I have their early demo, like their first demos they ever put out, their first 3 songs they ever had on MySpace back in the day. And it's a tough listen. Like
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah,
Like, and
they
it's
weren't
not just
always
because of
good.
quality. Like
They
it's just
weren't
it was
always
I
good.
remember when I discovered We Came as Romans back in this era, and I did not like their music. I thought they were bad. They sounded kind of thrash at the time in a way. Like just it wasn't put together at all, which is wild that they ended up sounding like they do now. I mean, because now they have like a very distinct sound, like and they
Yeah, I mean,
found
I
their
like their
sound and
first
everything.
EP and their first couple albums, like, a lot,
Yeah.
actually. Those are good
But
albums.
this is during the time where they pretty much sounded like this. The song's called Mouth to Mouth.
Yeah, that's you can just you get everybody gets it already.
Yeah.
I
Here,
feel like we
I'll
might have played that in, like, one of the very early episodes also, but yeah, bringing it
maybe
doesn't matter because 'cause we're
dude,
talking about this story, but
I wanna play a little bit more of it. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit,
it's
but
so bad. Dude, Dude, hang on. Turn that off. Dude, that's literally so bad.
It's rough,
We can't
dude.
listen to any more of that. That's too much.
It's
Yeah, what
wild.
the fuck is up with the weird like law dispute clean section? It sounded like they were
Like,
trying to be like La Disputey right there and
yeah,
just like be like, we're being super emo and poetic right now. It's like, dude,
it's very odd. It's just multiple dudes screaming over each other with like no organization with the instruments. Yeah, they did
yeah, that
not have it
was
figured out
no, not
at
at
all.
all.
Not even close.
Who okay, real quick question. Whose first demos are better? We Cars or Sycamores, dude?
I think your guys' was closer to your actual sound than theirs
No,
was.
dude. Ours, dude, that you I think you're forgetting how all fucking over the place that first one was that we
I
never
think
put out. It's so all over the place.
it is,
And it
but it's
doesn't none of the
also
songs on that even sound anything like what we ended up sounding like. Like really, they don't.
but at least you it sounds like you knew what you wanted to do, you just couldn't get there yet and didn't know how to do it. Like, you could hear in the Sycamore demos, you at least hear sort of what you were going for in later years, but, like, you
Yeah,
weren't
fair
quite
enough.
there and didn't know how to do it. Here, this doesn't sound remotely like We Came as Romans. If you like, this doesn't sound anything like they sound
No,
like
not
now,
at all.
not
Not at
even an
all.
inkling. Like, if you listen to the first demo of Sycamore and then listen to, like, I don't know, their later album when you guys, like, I mean, I think post even when you were out of the band and everything and they, like, released an album and stuff, like, I think, like, that stuff is, like, it at least you can hear where the sound came from and how it started. You're like, "Ah, I see what you're going for," and you obviously didn't achieve it necessarily at that time, but it's like you could see that like how they got from point A to point B. Here you're like, how'd they get from this point A to like where they are now? Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
wild.
pretty stark difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Um
sucked. No, it just sucked that they were, like, talking shit about it. I don't know if it was, like, everybody in the band, but, like, it's also like, dude, if you're gonna talk shit about us, but, like, to post it on Twitter. Like, he didn't
also,
name us or anything, but it was just like,
I'm not
we
defending
might
anything
see that.
I'm not defending anything the dude said, but as anybody who knows anything about Kyle Pavone at this point, he has passed away from a heroin overdose at this point now. And it's like he
Correct.
was dealing with some demons clearly. Like,
Clearly.
and it's like he was probably
Clearly.
projecting a bit. Like,
Clearly.
like in
Yeah.
some ways, like his own insecurities, he was probably projecting them somewhat. And I'm sure you guys weren't the only band to get those projected insecurities. Maybe you were one of the only ones to see it on social media, but like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, it's like
I'll say
comedians.
this
Comedians
about
do the
just
same shit, dude.
yeah, of
Like,
course. But I'll say
yeah.
this, like the music scene back then, I feel like it's definitely a lot more friendly and positive now. Like, dude, there was just so much shit talking back in the day between bands. I remember just like constantly talking shit about bands I didn't like.
Yeah, I think in that post-hardcore days when post-hardcore was really in its prime, so many bands and specifically Michigan, we had a big scene, I feel like. It was a big scene but a small scene, you know? Like we had a
Yeah.
lot of bands really trying to make it, but like there was very few of them actually making it, and so I think the jealousy sort of radiated from a lot of those other bands. And so like it really peaked out in an ugly way.
Yeah.
And
Plus
we saw
Michigan
it,
is
anybody
like
in that scene.
yeah, it was dude, it was like a pretty toxic fucking music scene back in the day. I'm not gonna pretend like it wasn't, dude.
I
It
remember the
was really
second Icy
toxic.
Stars, everybody seemed to like Icy Stars. Then the second they got signed, all I heard was people shit talking them and like shit talking their members and everything. And it like the narrative around them almost changed where it's like everybody wanted to come out the woodwork and talk shit about them. Same with like Chiodos. I just remember so many people like talking shit about them and stuff too. And it's like everybody it just seemed
Mm.
like par for the course, man.
I never heard anybody talk shit about Chiodos. I would
Oh,
shut
I
that
heard a
shit
lot.
down. I would
I
shut
heard a
that down
lot of
immediately and
people
be like,
talking shit about
nah.
Craig Owens.
Well, that's understandable. I'm not talking about I thought you meant like their music.
Uh, I've I definitely know people and I knew people who didn't like their music. But like it was a lot of I mean, like, a lot of the shit talking about them on a personal level, at least, you know, and, like, also people saying, like, Craig Owens can't perform live, and, like, every time I saw them, like, he fucking belted it out and did really well, and
I've seen a
I was like,
lot
"I
of
don't know, man."
and I wouldn't even say, rough. I would say I've seen a lot of very bad performances by that guy, actually, so
I've seen them 5 to 10 times maybe, and every time I felt like he did pretty well. But
I
that's
will
just
say
me.
this, he's a beast now. It seems like he got, like, a vocal coach after all these years, and, like, he can, like, really fucking hit it now, dude, so
Yeah, I think a lot of people end up doing that at some point in their career too, like, Burt McCracken from The Used. I've heard,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
in, like, previous years, a lot of people who've seen him, they're like, "Oh, he was terrible, he was so bad and everything," and I'm like, "Well,
Bro,
you
when
should
I saw
see."
the Used, they were horrifically bad.
This is what I hear, which is crazy, and I've seen them multiple times where they're very good, and if you watch, like, recent videos of them performing in recent years, he's fucking phenomenal, but he stopped doing the screaming. They're like, bassist does the screaming now, and Burt McCracken just does the singing now, and, like, he's got his voice, and I think it's like he got off the drugs and alcohol too, you know, like, he was hitting it hard back in the day. If anybody knows anything about Burt McCracken, that dude struggled with addiction on both like alcoholism and drugs. And that'll fuck up your your vocals, dude. Like drinking
Oh,
heavily on a
yeah.
nightly basis. Like, and he was. And so like and I think back in like the early and mid 2000s, he was hitting it hard, but like he's cleaned up now. He's living a sober lifestyle. He's like a dad. He stopped doing the screaming for their songs live, like he has like their bassist doing it, so he's just focusing on singing. So if you watch any videos of them performing in like 2023 or anything like that, or 2022, any of those, he's fucking nailing it. And
That's
like it's
good.
like, yeah, it's great to see because it's like, yeah, he clearly probably got a vocal coach. He's sober now, so he's not fucking up his voice with like alcohol and booze, you know. He's not doing drugs anymore. He's not doing the screaming. So he's learned how to preserve his voice and he's brought it back around, and that's awesome to see. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen for everybody. Adam Lazara from Taking Back Sunday still sounds like shit. But like that dude, man, he
Yeah,
can't sing live to save his
I
life.
remember seeing Taking Back Sunday at Warped Tour and being like, "What the fuck?"
I saw a recent video of them just like yesterday or the day before, and I was like, "Yep, still rough."
Yeah.
So yeah, he just doesn't have his voice. It's like at this point, if you go to see them live, you're going to see the performance, not to see them kill it, you know, and do it like the album.
Yeah,
Like you got to know what
he
you're
always
walking
seems
into.
drunk too.
Yeah, he's also somebody who's got a drinking problem. He's gone back and forth from being sober and not sober over the years, and he's been very vocal about it and talked about it a lot, and I think he's kind of in a relapse phase currently. It's also like somebody like Buddy Nielsen from Census Fail. That dude over the years has like struggled with that as well, but he's been sober for a number of years now, and I saw them live last year, I believe, at some point. Census Fail, and Census Fail was fucking great. He sounded phenomenal. Buddy Nielsen sounded great, but I've also heard there was years where he sounded really bad and like he
Hmm.
wasn't good.
I was never a Census Fail guy, to be honest with you, so I don't really know any of their music.
I fuck with Census Fail. I like him. Um, I had a extra ticket. For some reason, my wife Ashley wasn't able to go to that show. We bought 2 tickets and we were both gonna go, and she wasn't able to go at the last second. I think she got sick or something like that. I forget exactly. And then so I ended up having Eric Laux, our comedian buddy Eric Laux, come with me, and
Oh,
because I know
nice.
he's into pop punk and like you know metal music and shit, and like the other bands on the show were it was Can't Swim, which is like a pop punk band, and then like Moths to Flames, which is heavy. Um and then it was Census Fail, and it was a phenomenal show. It was a really good show. And Census Fail killed it, dude.
Mhm.
Buddy Nielsen's great. He's a great performer. Um
I'll have to check him out.
yeah, watch a live video of them, you know? It's a good time. He puts on a good performance too, you know? It's like he's I love somebody who also puts on a good performance, not just, you know, vocally or doesn't just sound good, but can perform. I think there's a lot of people could just like a lot of artists can just play their music live or do their music live, but I think it's another thing to actually put on a performance that people want to see. That's another level to it. And those are the
Yeah,
artists I enjoy the most, is ones who actually put on the performance for the crowd, you know?
right.
Because it's like I came there to see a show. I didn't just come to see you sing the songs from the album, you know? I
Yeah, I
want to
get
see
it.
you get into this shit, get the crowd into this, make it a moment.
Thousand
That's what I
percent,
love.
dude. I get it, dude. Yeah, I want to be entertained, man. That's why I
Yeah.
don't really feel like going to like smaller shows. I feel like I want to see large scale concerts now, which sucks because the
Yeah.
artists I actually really enjoy don't get to do them. So
I'll be honest, I don't like a lot of large scale concerts at this point. I mean, I
I
like
just like the
some, but like,
production value that gets put into it. You know what I mean? Like I like a good light show.
yeah.
I like a good like backdrop that has like a crazy like visual thing going on. Like that shit's cool to me.
Yeah. That stuff's cool. I do like that, and that is enjoyable.
Pyrotechnics, rip.
Yeah. I do think there's just something special about a small show to me still, man. Like, just seeing a band at a smaller venue, it's just like
Yeah.
there's something about it still to me where I'm like, I really enjoy it, and sometimes more so than these big shows, you know? What I did find out by going to Incarceration back in July is that I'm definitely not like a music festival type guy. Like, I don't love that. Like,
Nah, music festivals are terrible, dude.
yeah, they're not great, man. Like, it
Nah,
was
they're
fun to
bad.
go to and
A
try it
one-day
out and stuff.
festival is the move. Like, that's why Warped Tour was so great back in the day, because it was like, cool, I can just be here for a day. But dude,
Yeah,
you'd be so drained by that one day. It's like I can't imagine doing that 2 days in a row.
I did it 3 days.
Fuck that.
Yeah, like I I think, like, it's not even the days that is the issue. It's like watching bands perform outside during the daytime when you know they should be in, like, an indoor venue or something, or, like, at night, and, like, or they can't do their whole stage setup because they gotta have a quick changeover in between bands and stuff, Like,
Mhm.
where it's like you're not really getting their full performance or their full show, or they're doing a short set, when they wouldn't usually do a short set. Like, that's the shit that, like, I don't know, kinda makes it hard or more difficult. It can be
Anyways,
cool in other ways, but whatever. I do love a small show because usually everybody there is, like, really there for it, As opposed to a
yeah.
big show, a lot of people are just there because they got drugged there or something. Somebody dragged them there. So, I think that's a big thing a lot for me.
Yeah.
It's like it's about the
Anyways,
energy in the room.
yeah, 1000%. Anyways, what'd you get up to this week, man? Spending a lot of time on that, so I just wanted
I
to
mean, we're talking about music, dude. Who fucking cares,
I
man? Yeah.
I well, I don't know, we're like 30 minutes in right now. I wanna talk about other stuff. What do you what?
I don't fair enough,
There hasn't been
man.
any laughs on the podcast yet. I just wanted to get some other topics going. What?
Yeah, I don't know. I was
What
just
have you been
talking
up to?
about I not shit, man. I don't know.
Not shit?
Not much. No, not really.
Alright, well, fuck.
Working, dude. Like just
Working?
living like yeah, it was a busy week last week. We had a lot of shows last week.
Yeah,
I
I
worked
heard.
5 out of 7 days. So,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, honestly,
eh,
that's like a normal, like, work week for a
it's also
typical
way less
American, but
hours than like most people
yeah,
do at
yeah,
their job.
exactly, but still,
I mean,
that's a
I
lot of
also work
shows.
from home in a way, it's like I do a lot of work at home for my job as well. So it's like I probably put in more than 40 hours a week if we're really getting down to it. But
Yeah, okay.
whatever. It's
Well, that's
neither
cool,
here nor
dude.
there.
I haven't really
Yeah.
been out of the house in the past few days. I got fucking brutally sick over, like I don't know, dude. I woke up and I felt like I, like, licked one of the poles in the subway. It just felt terrible, so
You got no idea why, how you got sick or where from?
I took a COVID test and I didn't have COVID, so I was like, I don't know.
Come on, Jake. Tell me. Where
Probably
did it
have
happen? Give me the info.
I imagine it was from just doing a ton of mics. Like, the day before I got sick, I did, like, 4 or 5 mics, so I was, like, running around a bunch. I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
how I got
4 or
sick,
5
dude."
mics. What were their last names?
What were their
Okay.
last names?
You did 4 or 5 mics, dude.
Oh, like Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
got it. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
A
Sorry, dude, you
gay
said you
joke.
needed laughs, dude.
No, there
I love how you just go,
I wasn't
"Yeah, gay
expecting it
joke,
because we spent so
dude."
much time talking so seriously about music and stuff, so I
Sorry.
wasn't expecting the mic joke.
Yeah, no, it's classic bit, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. I liked it. Good stuff. Keep them
Yeah.
coming. Anyways,
Alright.
yeah, no, that's cool,
Is that
dude.
what you said to Mike? Keep him coming. Alright, now never mind. We'll move on.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'll move on from that bit. It wasn't good the first time. The second time I did the callback,
Doesn't
it
have
was
to be
not
good.
worth it.
Doesn't have to be good, dude. It's still a joke.
Feels like a dad joke, dude.
It's definitely a dad joke, but I still
Yeah.
liked it. Once I got what you were doing, I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, it is funny to imagine me jacking off 50 guys, right?
All named Mike.
All named Mike." Like that's the
Yeah.
requirement. Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'll make you come, but you got to show me your fucking ID first,
Oh,
buddy."
your name's Dave? Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of here, dude.
yeah. Kyle, leave.
Yeah.
You're never getting a hand job from me, Kyle. You have to fucking change your name first, bro.
Nah, I don't think that's happening, man.
Yeah, dude, I
Um,
still feel like dog shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I just have like so much like nasal. I feel like I got punched in the face somehow. Just
yeah.
not great. Yeah, seriously, I feel terrible. I took like a antihistamine yesterday too. I should take another one, but
Oh, you know what I did do this last week? When I was
what?
hitting the
What'd you
gym,
do?
when I went to the gym, I was trying to listen to like a playlist. I've been trying to listen to like playlists that just like curate new metal music, basically. Not in you metal, but new metal, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I have to clarify now, considering how much I talk about new metal on here. Like, not like I
I feel
do
like
mean
people. I think
NEW.
people understand.
Yeah.
I think people
I
know
did.
that that's a name of a genre.
Yeah, I talk about like in you metal so much that when I mention new metal, I feel like I have to say NEW metal, and just clarify. If you say it, I think people just assume you're talking about actual new music. But if I say new metal, I think like maybe people might think I'm just talking about the genre. Anyways, but yeah, like a playlist filled with like new metal music and stuff. And it's weird because it's not all metal in like this one playlist that I found, which like it was like 98% metal. And then there was like one jazzy rap song in there, and then like one sort of like alt rock type song that I found that almost sounds to kind of Queens of the Stone Age ish. Um, and it's really good. I played it for you before the pod. It's by a band called New Language, which I've never heard of before. I know nothing about them. Um, but the song's called Say It, and it's very catchy, I think. It's it's very like almost Brit rock in a way, kinda,
Yeah,
you know?
that's catchy. It's not metal though.
But dude, when I was in the gym, I heard this song and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, yeah, dude!" Like, it sounds like,
Yeah, it seems
you
like a
know,
treadmill song for sure.
yeah. It's good. It's very good. It's not metal. It's not super heavy. It's not hardcore. So if that's what you were hoping I was going to suggest on here, somebody listening to this, that's not what it is. But it's good. It's rock. I mean, it's just probably just straight rock is like the best way to describe it, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's really solid. This band called New Language. I just really like this song. It's got a good catchy riff to it, you know. Just and I quite enjoyed it, but I found it inside this playlist that's organized by Knotfest, which Knotfest is Slipknot's sort of media outlet.
Yeah.
And
I think
they,
we've brought it up enough times on the pod that everybody knows what that is.
for anybody who doesn't,
Yeah.
Knotfest is like
Slipknot.
Slipknot's me. They put out media articles, they produce podcasts, they put playlists together on Apple Music, and this is one of their playlists called Pulse of the Maggots. And it's got that on there, but it's also got this weird jazzy rap song by this
Caught in
artist
a
Zulu.
pattern of thought they lost in, never knowing the cost of being accosted. Whether or not I profit, I got a rocket.
It was so weird though, because I had the playlist on like shuffle, so it's like it played like Drain, or like Unity TX or Brand of Sacrifice, and then all of a sudden this jazzy rap song comes on. And I'm like, this is a mistake. What's Apple? Did Apple Music just throw some random shit in here? What happened here? And then I was like, oh no, this is in the fucking playlist. I was like, why is this in the playlist? I was like, this doesn't belong in this playlist. That's so odd. It's literally the only hip hop song in the whole playlist. Just
To leave a hole in their conscience. I'm dark and black as they come, but a nigga is far from gothic, a rocker, a prophet, the calmest, obnoxious.
it's like jazzy, sort of smooth rap, dude.
Yeah,
It's odd,
it's
but
catchy.
it's good. Yeah, man. There's been some good tracks though that then that's those are the things that I discovered from playlists. But then a band that we both like, Kublai Khan TX, they released a new song this week, dude, called Low Tech. You heard it yet?
Yeah, I have listened to it a few times actually.
It's good. It's heavy.
Build myself in the dirt. Sacred right, sacred curse. Who will face suspected dust? Promise go the anti-Christ and return for your life.
Skip in a little bit.
Force to move, force to shoot. Beyond bad guys, always walk on land.
I will say it has a better intro than their other fucking song, Theory of Mind. I hate how Theory of Mind starts, honestly. Like,
I
monkey
don't.
say, monkey do. Like,
Oh, I
so
think
who
it's
the
hard,
fuck
dude.
are
I think that song's
you?
hard.
It's a good song, but I hate the beginning of it. It's so corny.
I think it's tough. Yeah, all
You think
metal
it's
is
just tough?
corny, dude.
Monkey say, monkey do. So who the fuck made you? Who the fuck made you?
The opening line of the song, if you put that in the middle of it, wouldn't mind as much. But the fact that the song opens with monkey see, monkey do, so who
Nah,
the
that's
fuck
tough,
made
dude.
you?
That's
Nah,
tough.
dude, no.
That's a tough
They've
lyric,
got
dude.
they've got tough lyrics. That's not one of them, dude. Swan Song by Kublai Khan, that's tough lyrics,
Those
dude.
are depressing. That's not tough.
It's tough,
It's
dude.
fucking sad.
Yeah, but it's
Songs
tough,
about
man.
child abuse, dude. We don't have to keep listening to their music.
Sell it to the chrome on the interstate. That shit's tough, dude. To all the women working Iowa 80 selling pussy to the chrome on the interstate, where it's like,
All right.
oh, damn, dude. That shit's tough. Monkey see, monkey do. So who the fuck made you? I mean, I wouldn't tell the lead singer of Kublai Khan to his face that it's not tough because he's a scary dude. But I mean, like, it's not a tough lyric, dude.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. It's just all right. Yeah. You
I
think
got
that's
nothing else to
tough?
say. I think it's a pretty tough lyric. I think that whole song is tough as fuck. Like
Why
that's
is
pretty
monkey
hard
see,
song.
monkey do? So who the fuck made you tough? Explain how that's tough to me.
It just sounds good. Just sounds hard.
That's-
I don't need to like it doesn't need to be like violent or like brutal to be like, oh, that sounds fucking tough. It's just the way he
Sounds like a child's nursery rhyme.
all right.
That's
I'm not a
not
fucking
tough.
lyricist, so I don't,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, you listen to enough metal and hardcore music to realize,
well,
like,
I don't know. What
putting a
does he mean
children's
by it?
nursery rhyme at the beginning of
What's
it.
the meaning of it then? I mean, that would be that's what would make it would be tough. I'm like the other song's not tough, it's just depressing.
I guess, but it sounds
The other
tough,
song's
dude.
lyrics are extremely sad and depressing. They're not fun.
Yeah. I guess so. The rest of those lyrics are monkey see, monkey do. So who the fuck made you? It feels like 1,000 years since I fell in love, but when push comes to shove, love will never be enough. Love will never be enough. Love will never be.
That's pretty tough, dude.
I don't know, dude.
That's pretty tough. Anyways, what
Sounds
else
like
we
a.
got, man?
I don't think
Like
so.
we're just really grasping at straws on this one, dude.
I'm, I'm just talking about fucking Kublai Khan. They put out a new song, Low Tech. It's really good. It sounds better. It sounds really good. I think I just don't like the intro of Theory of Mind by them. I think the rest of the song is good. I just hate that intro. It always like sounds so corny to me. But if we want to talk about corny shit, not even related to music, dude, which is funny because a music outlet wrote about it, Loudwire did, which is like why I remembered to talk about this because I probably wouldn't have brought it up otherwise, but Loudwire wrote an article about it, which is weird. You remember that Winnie the Pooh horror movie, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, that came out because it went public domain?
Yeah, totally.
Did you ever watch it?
I didn't. No, I haven't seen it.
Neither did I, and I want to. It's on Peacock. I plan on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
But
have Peacock.
the creators of the Winnie the Pooh horror movie are making a Poohniverse of Twisted Kids horror movies.
That's the worst and best name for anything I've ever heard.
They're calling it the Poohniverse, and the logo looks sort of like the Avengers logo, basically.
Really?
Yeah,
Show me the logo.
really. It's in the article, dude. I sent you the article.
Just do a screen share. You're the one operating.
All right, I'll show
Alright,
you a
I'll
screen
just-
share. Here, let me pull it
Let
up
me see this guy.
right there.
Oh,
Poohniverse.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's like Marvel fonts, dude. That's fucking so funny.
Yeah, it's literally that, dude. So,
That rips.
it's pretty wild. So they're about to release the second one. It's all filmed and ready to go. They just did like screening of it in LA or something. And it's called Winnie the Pooh, or it's called Pooh Blood and Honey 2. And the filmmakers are now planning on titles like Bambi the Reckoning, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, and Pinocchio Unstrung. They also expect to make their own creepy versions of characters ranging from Sleeping Beauty and the Mad Hatter. And then in 2025, all of them will team up inside of Poohniverse Monsters Assemble. I love that they're doing this.
Oh my god, man.
This is crazy, dude. Like, this is what they're just taking all these children's movies that are going into like public domain, creating horror movies out of them, and then they're just gonna put them all into one movie like the Avengers, basically.
I guess if you need to. If you got to
Dude.
create jobs somehow, sure.
I mean,
Whatever you got to do. That writer's strike, yeah.
if you could
Is
turn
that
any character,
if that's
could
what
turn-
we're paying people more for now, then sure. Good job, everybody. Great
yeah, man.
work.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, if you could turn any character into a horror movie, what character would you choose, dude?
Any character into a horror. I don't know, man. I don't
Would you-
fucking know.
You don't know, dude? Come on. There's got to be something that you think would be a cool horror movie character.
I don't know. I think Shrek would be badass. Yeah, I saw your Shrek thing. I'm like, yeah, Shrek would actually be pretty scary.
Yeah. Shrek as a horror movie?
Well, I thought if you're talking like Disney stuff or like, well, I know that's not Disney, but like kids stuff.
It doesn't have to be Disney. I didn't clarify what Disney character would you do. Shrek would be a pretty cool one, I think, to turn into a horror movie. I think it would be easy too, because it's like all the elements are already there.
This is like a game that like drunk girls would play on like their bachelorette party. What are we doing, Kyle?
I'm just curious, dude.
Which character would you turn into a horror movie? What are we doing, dude?
I just think it's insane that they're doing this now.
I know. I
Bambi,
think that's
Peter Pan,
insane. I just don't want to play
Pinocchio,
this
like...
fucking chick game that you're like asking me to play right now. I'm like,
oh, dude, there's a poster for Poohniverse Monsters Assemble already. I got to share my screen and show you this. This is ridiculous looking. Do you see this, dude? I don't even know what all these characters are. That's how fucked up looking they are.
yeah, I can't tell what any of that is except for Winnie the Pooh. And the Mad Hatter, obviously, is wearing a hat, so
Yeah, dude.
dead
Oh,
giveaway on that one.
This has got to be Peter Pan, right? He's got the fucking feather coming out of the hat.
I guess. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. This is so ridiculous. That's Tigger. I know
Yeah,
that.
it's a colossal waste of everybody's time for
This
sure.
is definitely Eeyore right there. He's holding a bat with spikes in it, it looks like. This is
Ooh.
so weird. And then like Winnie the Pooh is on the back of a fucking zombie reindeer. Is that what's happening there?
It looks like it. Yeah.
This is where we're at with entertainment now, guys.
Yeah,
Is
it's
like,
not good.
yeah,
Like, I'm
like,
not trying to sound like such a fucking bitch, but my God, I'm really
yeah.
frustrated by the world. Like, I kind of don't want to be alive, dude. This shit sucks ass.
It's crazy,
The
man.
future looks really weird and bleak, and I don't think I want to be in it, so it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I now have to watch all these movies just to see the one where they all assemble for some reason. Cause it's like it feels so unnecessary that I have
Why?
to watch
Why?
it.
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. It is absolutely unnecessary that you watch it. It would be a total waste of 6 hours that you could have done something way better with your time. That's all this shit is, dude.
I think I'm gonna watch Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey tonight.
Hmm. Yeah. Who has been Judd Apatow? You see Judd Apatow like bitching about he said like because HBO is gonna start buying content from like Netflix or like everything's just gonna kind of get crossed over. Like I think Netflix is buying content from HBO. That's what it was. So he's like, Judd Apatow is basically bitching. He's like, oh, because of this, less shows are gonna get made, and I'm like, good, good. Actually, Hollywood, you can stop making shows for 5 years. Please, you should shut everything down for again. Because
Yeah.
honestly, dude, I am so sick of just like being overwhelmed with like and being told by everybody like you got to watch this. You got to watch this. It's like, dude, there's too many fucking shows. There's not enough time. I have like I have fucking goals that I want to accomplish. I do not need to get involved in the fucking Pooniverse. I'm sorry. I don't need it, dude. It's getting to be too much to the point where like it pisses me off thinking about this now. Sorry, you got me going, dude. It's
No, dude,
overwhelming.
go
You can't
off.
tell me that, like, the constant stream of content that's, like, never ending, that's fucking ceaseless, that it's not just, like, mind numbing and depressing. It's really annoying and, like, unhealthy, and I feel like it purposely gets thrust upon the general public as, like, a way of, like, just anesthetizing people and limiting their potential and really just lowering their output, essentially, their personal output. Because here's what happens is like what happens when you get home and you're exhausted from work? You don't want to like put in the hours of what you actually care about. You're tired. You don't want to do any of that bullshit. So you turn on like Netflix, and that's how they keep you fucking they just crank out bullshit. It's just all bullshit, dude.
Love is
Some of it's
Blind is
good.
great, dude.
Love is Blind is hilarious and awesome, dude. Wait, is that the autism? No, that I was thinking Love on the Spectrum, dude.
No, Love is Blind is the one where they get in the pods and they don't see each other, you know, and
Yeah.
then they gotta fall in
Sorry
love.
I went off on a fucking super lame tangent, like I was gonna accomplish anything with that, but it really is frustrating. Cause like, I know we all get into like, it's not just me, we all get into these, like, modes of, like you ever come out of, like, a period of, like, dooms not I would call it dooms, but you ever just come out of a period of, like, 3 hours of, like, scrolling through Reels or TikToks, and you're like, "What the fuck am I doing?" And you realize you're like,
Yeah.
"I just wasted 3 hours of my life." It's really depressing.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
can tailor it to you.
Yeah. It's like it feels like you're not in control in a way.
And the more you're on it, the more they tailor it.
Yep. It feels like you're very not in control. But I have to remind myself, like, "No, I am. I am, dude."
Yeah, I mean, hey, on the topic of content, we wanna, let's talk about Fred Durst is
Hey, let
launching a
me say
podcast,
this.
dude.
Social media is poison and content is poison, but we're gonna keep cranking it out ourselves, dude. Because we are hoping to make a living at this someday. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I mean, on the topic of content, though, Fred Durst is launching a podcast about UFOs and conspiracies on Bill Maher's new podcast network.
That
which
yeah,
is
see? See what I mean? It's like,
hilarious
who
to
is
me.
that really entertaining to?
Your
Like,
boy. I will listen to a podcast by Fred Durst.
it's a
Yeah,
waste of your time, man.
absolutely. I don't give a fuck, dude.
It's a
Fred
waste of your
Durst,
time,
I
man.
don't care, man. I'll listen to whatever Fred Durst has to tell me about UFOs and conspiracies. That's hilarious to me that they're giving Fred Durst a podcast about UFOs and conspiracies. I love also further that it's a Bill Maher's podcast network that he's starting. Apparently,
Yeah,
also Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins is starting a podcast on that same network too.
weird.
Yeah,
Weird.
Billy Corgan and Fred Durst are going to launch Bill Maher's new podcast
I don't
network,
need to
basically.
hear just here's the thing, man, like, I just don't need to hear Billy Corgan or Fred Durst talk for an hour a week. I just don't.
Yeah, I'll
And I
decide
love
once it's out if I
love
want
those
to.
guys. And I love those guys, but I just don't give a fuck about what they have to say.
Not even if it's about
Really.
UFOs and conspiracies.
Not really, man. I'm having
Yeah.
a hard time even giving a fuck about like what my favorite comedians have to say anymore. I'm just like, whatever, dude. I'm annoyed by all
Yeah,
of it,
man.
dude. It's just like never ending.
Yeah, I mean that's what content is. It's never ending. There's always a
Yeah.
stream of it, and there's gonna
I'm
be
just
more.
saying I remember a time when life wasn't like that and it was much better.
All right. Well, this is taking a depressing
Way better.
spiral.
It's not yeah, it's not my fault the fucking world's depressing. It's not my fault.
You were just mad about content today, Jake. About people
I'm
putting
not
out
even mad about
content.
content. I'm mad about like
The
I don't know.
Pooniverse.
No,
I
just,
think the Pooniverse sent you into a spiral.
it's the yeah, because it's like the pointless distractions, dude. It's like
Yeah.
infuriating. Because it seems like borderline intentional to where it's like, what's the fucking point of you guys making this? Like, who is this? Like, I get that it's like a fun thing. I'm not trying to be a fucking huge Debbie Downer, but it is a wholly unnecessary and adds no real value to anything. That's what's to me is like kind of upsetting about all of it.
I don't know. You got to think it's like how we love fucking podcasts and that type of stuff. There's a whole
I'm
like
honestly getting
there,
tired of podcasts too, dude. I
but
can barely
or
listen to
we
a
like
podcast.
comedy or whatever, man. Like the things that we like is podcast, comedy, that type of shit. It's like some people they aren't into that shit. What they're into is horror movies, and they're waiting for the next one to come out, whether it's good or bad. Like that's what they love, and it's like. I think about it from that perspective, I guess. It's like I think there's a market for it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily. I think it's ridiculous that it's being made, yeah, but, like, I also understand,
It just
you
seems
know?
like uh, a a wholly unnecessary thing that would only ever come out in a country like this where capitalism is just so disgusting at this point. Like
I think people could say
even
something
I
similar
think
about our
capitalism is
podcast.
disgusting, dude. Sure,
They're like, "I think it's wholly unnecessary," and they
I
are
would
right.
agree with them.
This
Yeah.
is wholly unnecessary.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying it isn't. That's not the point though. I don't charge people for this or say, "Hey, give me your fucking money, guys. Give me your hard-earned dollars," and also like waste all of your time. Like, here's the thing. We have enough out in episodes now that like,
This is
yeah,
episode 52. This is a year of episodes
somebody could
today.
binge. Yeah, somebody could spend a lot of time binging all of these episodes, but it's like if somebody was gonna tell me, they'd be like, "I'm gonna binge all your guys' episodes," I'd be like, "I don't know if it's necessary to listen to all of them." Like,
Yeah.
be like, "I think you could get more out of life by not doing that, actually, to be completely honest with you."
I think if you're thinking about binging all of our episodes, you should. So don't listen to Jake. Do it. All
Sure.
right. Listen to
I'm
every
not
one
yeah,
of
that's a
them.
bad business model to have that
Yeah.
opinion, absolutely, but, like,
Yeah.
this
I
shit
think
is
you should go back.
really
If you haven't heard every
it
episode,
doesn't
you
feel
should go
just
back and
like
listen to them all right now. I
the
think so.
amount of, like, shit that's out and, like, the amount of shit that gets, like, put in front doesn't it doesn't feel, like, overwhelming to you or just, like, enough already? Like, stop it.
No,
Like,
I think I'm less nihilist about it,
the
baby.
the
Yeah,
fact
I
that, like,
guess.
there's probably gonna be, like, an 11th Fast and Furious movie, that doesn't make you just wanna feel the cold steel of a fucking revolver in your mouth? That doesn't do
No.
anything for you?
No, because
Alright.
it doesn't affect me, Jake. You know, like
It
it
doesn't
doesn't.
affect me, but it makes me depressed for whatever reason.
It doesn't for me, man, because I'm like, this is for somebody. Somebody out there is going to enjoy that. That's cool, and it's not going to affect me negatively or positively. So,
Well, I gotta
like,
change my thinking habits apparently.
yeah, apparently,
Apparently, dude.
because you're letting Fast and Furious movies make you mad and
I'm
want to
not
put a
saying Fast
revolver
and
in your
Furious.
mouth.
That was just an example.
Okay.
It's not even just like one thing. It's like the amount of stupid stuff. It's just like a constant never-ending cycle of bullshit where I'm just like, dude, this is really, really unnecessary. And it pisses me off more than it depresses me, I guess I would say. It's annoying.
I don't know, man. It does. I think it used to bother me somewhat, but I just stopped caring at a certain point because I'm like, everybody's gonna be putting out content, and it's not really
I'm
gonna
not talking about
affect me
content. I'm talking about
overall.
Hollywood and movies right now. Content is
That's
whatever.
content. That's content.
That's
Like
not
that's
content. That's not
movies. Movies are content.
Nobody used to refer to movies as content before fucking content took over the
Okay,
internet, dude.
what?
They're movies. They're
But
movies.
now movies, TV shows, all of it is considered content in the larger scheme of things. Like
Sure.
it's
Yeah,
all
that's
considered
some
that.
semantics. Yeah, you're
It's a
right.
big, broad fucking scope of what content is now. Like, I mean, like, there's a very broad scope of what it is.
Hmm.
And so I think there is so much content out there, whether we're talking about social media or whether we're talking about the Hollywood machine, whatever it may be. Uh, I think it's just like most of it doesn't affect me, and like so I don't care about a lot of it. I don't think about most of it, and yeah, I just like it doesn't bother me because I don't think about it. You know,
All right.
like I'm like I don't know how's it
Well,
affecting you on a day to day
here's
basis.
why it bothers me is because there's so much terrible bullshit out now. Like there's so many like movies and TV is just so watered down that when something even like kind of good comes out, like I'm talking like a step above mediocre, dude. People it gets heralded as like amazing now. Like I think when that much shit comes out, like art just kind of gets devalued and that's why there's less good movies now, dude. Like, there's very few movies that come out now where I'm like, I want to go see that, or I can't wait to see that. Like,
Yeah.
maybe like one or two a year, dude. And it's
Yeah.
because there's a never-ending sea of fucking dog shit.
Yep. Yeah, I get that. I mean, I really don't go see
That's why
movies
it's
much anymore
depressing.
either, but like I don't
That's
find
why it
that
makes me want to
depressing.
get the Smith and Wesson and just blow my brains out. It doesn't really. I'm being fucking facetious and trying to be funny, but it is really just like
It feels very nihilistic,
depressing.
Jake, honestly.
I'm a
Like,
okay.
I mean, I feel like maybe I have a more positive outlook on this or something where I'm just like not letting it affect my mental state in a way where I'm like
I wouldn't
there's a
say
lot of
I'm
shit.
letting yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
say I'm like letting it affect my mental state on a regular basis, but well, seeing that they're making 6 of these movies and it's just like it's just so unnecessary, man. Like the time and energy spent on making like those people could do so many better things
But
than
think
make those
about
movies.
how many people are getting employed and get to make money off of this.
Like I
Like people who
said,
like these are
anything to create jobs, sure, whatever, dude.
yeah, it's like it's creating jobs in the industry and that's a positive effect, you
Hmm,
know?
I guess.
Is that negative? I don't think that's negative. Like
I'm
in
not
the
saying that
film
is a
industry,
negative.
if you're creating jobs and work for people, like I think that's a positive ultimately. Even if the content or the movie or whatever the show or whatever the fuck you're making in this instance, talk about the Pooniverse or whatever, where it's like technically like you're creating jobs and shit for like these people and
Yeah,
the
but
industry, and that's a
it's also that's
positive.
also an industry that where like when names are credited and stuff, it's kind of like if your name's on something bad, you get less jobs. So that's also bad.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, not necessarily in the horror world though. I think in the horror world it's a little different. Like in the horror world, they don't really mind if you're in bad movies. You know, like you could make a living out of doing mediocre or bad indie horror films. Like there's a whole fucking circuit for that, you know?
Sure.
Just like being a mediocre comedian, you know? Like
Sure.
sure, like you can make a living out of performing in mediocre or bad rooms, you know? Like just because your name's attached to that doesn't mean you can't make a living off of it, you know? And if you're okay with that being your legacy, then I don't see anything wrong with it in a way, you know? Yeah, it
All right, man.
can.
I guess I'm just being nihilistic, dude. I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
most of the stuff that comes out now needs to be made.
No, a lot of it doesn't need to be, but I mean, who are we to be the judge and jury, you know, or judge, jury, and
The
executioner?
literal
We're not.
consumer. The
I
literal
mean,
fucking consumer. What do you mean? How
but
are
we're
we?
not the only consumer. We're not the only
Yeah, I'm talking
ones.
about for my own personal viewpoint.
All right.
I feel like a lot of people probably feel like this way. There's no way I am the only person in
No,
America who
for sure
feels like
not.
that, dude.
Yeah. No, there's
Yeah.
definitely others who feel that way. I'm not gonna say that, but yeah. I mean, if we want to talk about shit that shouldn't be made, let's talk about this, dude. We got another thing.
What's that?
7-Eleven's making actual hot dog flavored seltzer
You see
water.
what I mean? You see what I mean? Because it's not even just the entertainment industry. It's also like the food, like just like it's a never-ending like sea of consumption, and that shit is like very just
Hot
oh
dog flavored water
hot
and the
dog flavored
chocolate
water.
starfish.
God,
Yeah.
dude. You see what I mean? You see what the fuck I mean, dude?
Yeah. It's
Like
pretty funny,
maybe that, and
honestly.
also first of all, maybe that's not even fully real. That could be like you said,
It
that could be
could
an early April Fool's
April
prank.
Fools. Yeah, it could
But
be.
as of right now, I mean,
It'd be weird for them to do an early April Fool's
Snopes
prank,
it real
is the
quick.
thing.
Snopes it. Because Snopes will be on top of that shit, dude. Look that up real quick.
What's Snopes?
It's a fact-checking website. Just Google Snopes and then 7-Eleven hot dog flavored seltzer water, and it'll come right up. Because I need to know. I need to get to the bottom of this, dude.
Snopes? I what?
SNOPES.
I searched it and
Oh,
there's
they
nothing coming
probably
up
then.
necessarily.
Well, if Snopes hasn't fact-checked it, it's either real or they just haven't gotten to it yet.
7-Eleven announced it through their
Huh.
website and through their
Oh,
socials and everything. Like
well, then it might be real.
it's as far as everybody can tell right now, it's real, dude. Like
Yeah. Well, that's like
7-Eleven announced it. Like
well, see, that's what I'm saying though, dude.
oh yeah, on their
That's
website.
garbage.
7-Eleven Inc.
It's
announces
like
the
when they
arrival of
did
new Big Bite hot dog sparkling water. Like
that's
it's branded like
fucking
their Big Bite hot
insane.
dog. Like it's branded after their Big Bite hot dog too.
It's
Like so it's not just like hot dog sparkling water. They're like Big Bite hot dog. So it's like they're branding it like with
like
their
who is that
signature.
for, dude?
I don't know. It might just be an
That's
April Fool's
crazy.
joke, dude, and that's the thing.
I
is,
mean,
like,
yeah,
that's the
that
crazy part.
it might just be an April Fool's joke, but you know what the fuck wasn't an April Fool's joke?
Oh,
Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew, Kyle. That was not
let
an
me tell
April
you.
Fool's joke, dude.
I think this is going to be an April Fool's joke.
Oh,
More details on the availability of this flavor will be revealed April 1st. But in the meantime, the rest of 7-Eleven X
shut
Miracle
the fuck
Seltzer
up,
lineup
7-Eleven.
includes
You couldn't
lemon,
make it
lime,
any
green
more.
apple, and
Yeah, you're just
sweet
trying to promote
orange.
your good flavor bullshit, dude. Put out the hot dog
Yeah.
butter or fucking shut up, dude.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point still stands about Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. That was like an abomination.
That was
against Christ.
disgusting. Yeah.
It was disgusting, and it was honestly an abomination against God. I truly believe that. I feel like that hurt the soul of the nation when we did that.
It definitely hurt some people's insides, that's for sure. I
You
mean,
definitely
I
destroyed
don't know
some.
about souls, but it definitely hurt some internal organs.
Yeah,
That's
it definitely
positive.
destroyed some people's fucking stomachs, dude.
Yeah, that shit. Did you try one?
I took like a sip of one because I was like, I have to, because Brett had one, Brett Hayden, in front of the pod. It
Yeah.
was like during one of the Salsa Parlor house shows. It was like right before, and he like bought like an ice cold bottle, and I was like, all right, well, I'll take a sip, and I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it feels like heartburn when you drink it. It's
That makes me want
gross.
to throw myself off of the balcony upstairs right now. That's crazy.
I love how everything just makes you want to. I think you just want to kill
I
yourself.
think I
Jake.
just want to kill myself, dude.
I don't think it's all the things happening. I
I
think
think
it's
this
just
is
you
yeah.
feel this way inside, and like you're using whatever happens in society as an excuse now.
Is that my
But-
well, no, it's definitely society triggering those feelings. It's
Or
not
you're like, the Poonaverse makes me want to kill myself. The hot dog flavored water makes me want to kill myself.
well, that can't because that's
The
a joke.
spicy Mountain Dew makes me want to throw myself off a balcony. I'm like, I think we're just picking up on a trend here.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I don't know if it's these things are making you want to do this. I think maybe
No,
you
it
just want
is
to do
those
this.
things get me to a place where I'm like, we're finished. I'm like, we're
I
a
think-
joke. I'm like, dude, the country's a joke. The world is kind of a fucking joke. Like, we're
Oh,
finished, dude.
God, we need to start
We're
get a
done.
Kickstarter together for you to get
This
a
is like the
therapist.
last 20 years of the country. We're done, dude. It's
We need to
over.
get a Kickstarter together to get Jake therapist.
Dude,
All right.
over, man. I'm like thinking all the time, like, dude, World War III is like right around the corner too. That's about to happen. So
Dude, you're in such a good headspace.
what like okay, do you want me to just not live in reality? Vladimir Putin's literally using the words World War III. So it's like, do I need to live in, you know,
I guess. I don't know,
it
man.
seems like a legitimate concern with everything going on, right? There's like 19 fucking wars happening over there. So
Hopefully we can make it past September because Korn's going on tour and they're coming to Detroit in September. So I need us to at least World War III needs to happen in October at the very
I mean,
earliest.
best case scenario is you're at the Corn concert, Freak on a Leash is playing. They're closing with Freak on a Leash, and it gets to the Bappa Dima part, and right when he's like screaming that, and it hits the drop, that's when the nuke hits.
Yeah.
Like
Alright,
right
I'm cool with that.
like on stage. I'm not even saying in the general vicinity. It lands on stage where Corn is playing. Best case scenario, dude. That's
Best
a
case.
sick way to go out.
Yeah. Just hear, ooh, ooh, yeah.
See, dude?
or whatever.
See, dude, I'm not a nihilist.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
It's not
man.
my fault for thinking like that, dude. It's really not. Because like
No.
if you pay attention to enough stuff going on in the world, it's kind of tough to just be like, well, I'm gonna be happy regardless. Like, no. That's psychopath shit, dude. I think it actually makes like if you can look at everything going on right now in the world and actually be like genuinely happy, there's a level of sociopathy involved where I'm just like, I don't know, man. I guess I don't have it.
Maybe, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you can be like brimming with joy on a daily basis in this country, there's something wrong with you,
If you're
dude.
brimming with
There's
joy
something
on a
wrong
daily
with you.
basis, it's because you're rich. That's
Yeah,
my opinion. I don't think anybody.
probably. And
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
dude, the richer the rich people are the biggest fucking sociopaths ever, dude. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, point
So-
stands, man. I'm not a nihilist, I'm a realist, dude. And unfortunately,
I don't know about that.
no, unfortunately, they
don't
sound
know,
the
dude.
same coming out of your mouth. They both sound insanely
Nah.
negative.
Nah. I
What
think you have realist tendencies, but I think you got nihilistic tendencies too.
I definitely have nihilistic tendencies, but I try to just more live in reality and just be like, this is what's going on and this is what could happen, and like you gotta
I love how
accept
you're like,
that.
I'm not nihilistic, but you're like hot dog flavored water and Mountain Dew that's hot makes me want to kill myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not nihilistic at all.
It
Like,
doesn't literally make me want to kill myself. I'm joking around for the podcast, but it is like it is a sign of like decay where it's like the culture's done, dude. We're done. We're at
we're
a
still
fucking
nah.
okay.
I don't think the culture's done, dude.
All right. Well, I think when I say that, I think it's just gonna keep. What I mean by that is like I think things are just gonna keep getting weirder and weirder until nobody gets along with each other, which is already kind of how it is anyways. Like nobody really likes each other or gets along with each other for the most part, anyways.
I
Look
disagree.
at social interaction. I mean, I guess
I
it's
think
just
you
any
live in New
everything,
York
dude.
where nobody gets along with each other.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not
I think
living in the real world. You're
a lot
living
of
in New
big
York City.
yeah, it's definitely a bubble, but I'm saying like a lot of big cities are like that, dude. People in LA are
Yeah.
like that.
But
People
that
in
is, yeah,
Chicago are
exactly. But
like
that's
that.
not the real world either. Like, I don't know.
It's definitely the
Chicago's a
real world.
little
It's just
better.
a bubble. It's
Yeah,
still,
I mean, but it's not like the
things
real
are
world like anywhere else in the country. Like LA and New York are very specific bubbles that are not the real world. Like, and I don't care what anybody says. Those are not the real world. Those are like these hubs of entertainment and like specialty shops and like shit that could never thrive anywhere else in the country. Like
yeah.
weird restaurants and specialty stores and weird shit like that, where it's like these things would not exist or be able to exist anywhere but here. And that's not the real world to me.
I think
Like
I'm
New
just
York and
suffering from
LA.
sensory overload on a constant basis to the point where I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel joy anymore. Like I see too much cool shit that where I'm like, yeah, I get to take all that in, but then I see so much like not cool shit and like bad shit that it kind of like evens out to a point where I'm just like, huh, yeah, that's nothing.
I think
That's
you
like a
see a
feeling of
lot of
nothing.
like also being in New York, you're seeing a lot of cool shit that you don't get to be a part of in a way too, which is like kind of also fucks up your
Sure.
mental state, I think. Like you see a lot of cool shit where it's like it feels so close but also so far in a way.
Yeah, I mean that's just comedy in general, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I think like especially when you're like close to it, like in a New York or LA or something, you know what I mean? Like when you're right there and it's right in front of you and like within like right within hands reach almost or arm's length, but like you you know, there's like exclusionary sides of it. But it's like it's weirder when it's like when it's so close to you and it's like within reach, but it also feels like so far out of reach too. Um,
Yeah, I guess I can see what you're that's really not what's bothering me though. It's more just like the never-ending shit. It is just sensory overload to like an extreme level, I think.
Yeah. Well, all right, everybody, look out for a Kickstarter to get Jake a therapist. So we're gonna have that up soon. Maybe on the Patreon. There is
I
no
can't afford it,
Patreon,
dude.
but keep a
If
lookout.
I could afford therapy, I'd probably get it, but I
Yeah,
can't.
dude,
So
we're gonna get a Kickstarter or a
we're
Patreon
not
and
gonna get a
get
Kickstarter. And no,
it.
nobody's gonna give me their hard-earned dollars. Stop forking over your hard-earned dollars to things that aren't worth it.
All right, we're gonna start a Kickstarter for Jake to get a therapist, and I'll keep all the money because he doesn't want it. And, and we're just, I'm
Sure.
gonna, yeah, and I'll steal all of your guys' money, and use it for my own personal use to go see Corn in September and get really good seats.
Seems like a
Uh,
typical podcast scam.
yeah,
Seems like a pretty typical, grift.
yeah, dude, I don't see any issues wrong with this.
The old fucking Andrew Schultz switcheroo, dude.
Yeah. Be like, help Jake get a therapist, and then everybody will be like, "Did he get one?" Be like, "No, but I got great seats to see Corn."
Yeah.
I mean,
How's Jake? He's dead.
yeah,
He did it finally, dude.
but Jonathan Davis was great live.
Yeah.
So,
Bapa Dima. Nuke.
all right, everybody, thanks for listening to the podcast. This has been Unless You Live Hardcore. Follow us on
Wow.
social
Did we really get
media.
through an hour already? That
Yeah,
was
dude, we're
fast.
there. Follow us on Instagram at Unless You Live Hardcore. Follow me at I am Kyle Forsyth. Follow Jake at Comic Jake
Nah, I'm
Ford.
deleting it. It's bad. It's bad for you.
Okay.
Bad for your
Yeah.
health, dude.
Jake's gonna delete social media.
Deleting all my social media.
He's not gonna take in any more content because it's all bad and
Not all
it's
content
all-
is bad. It's just too much of it. You
all
could
right.
scroll TikTok, dude. The amount of the content that's on TikTok, you could start scrolling now and never stop until you're 80. That's how much shit's on there. You could just do that your whole life and die. So, anyways,
Check out Jake on TikTok, everybody.
yeah, check me out on TikTok, dude. Before
He'll,
the government's probably gonna ban that shit, dude. And I say good. I
Yeah,
say
we'll see.
get it out of here, dude.
Nah, some American company's gonna buy it for sure.
Not if China doesn't fucking sell, dude. They don't
Uh,
have to sell.
it'll happen. Anywho, thanks for listening, everybody.
I hope not. Bye.
That's been the pod. Bye.
Ban that shit, dude. Bye.